Tá, eu só tô fazendo só pra poder curtir.
Do you believe in life on other planets?
Yes, I don't think a lot about, but I do believe because the universe is infinite, so to be restricted here would be a selfishness of space. Like I think it is huge, so much more that we cannot acknowledge. So just to think that no, doesn't exist, we are the only ones, is kind of doesn't make sense for me.
So to you, it's a logic thing. You haven't had any encounters. You have never met an alien yourself, or thought you did.
No, not.
But it makes sense to you that they exist, that they're real.
Yes.
All right, Hermogenes, same question to you. Do you believe in aliens from space?
I believe,
for whatever reason.
I believe because the creation, the life, I believe it's extra.
Oh, you
Yes,
think that our
planet.
origin, our place that we came from is not
Yes.
from Earth? I agree with this, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, do you want to speak about that more? We can. This is we can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah. I don't know Spanish better in English, you know, but I believe this. Just the people think about it.
Yeah.
Eu acredito porque nós, humanos, eu acredito assim, não sei vocês, né? Mas eu acredito que a gente foi uma experiência que deu errado.
He believes that we are an experiment that went somehow wrong.
I agree with this. Yeah, like DNA taken from the native. Yeah, okay, my man. Yeah, we're gonna hang out. We'll play
That's
some-
it. That's it, people. So just think about it.
Okay.
Fine.
Corre pelos cantos encostado na floresta. Passa pedra por voz que tá chegando. Onde esgoto descarrega, escorrega a sujeira do sujeito que tem. O conforto da torneira, da privada e da TV também. Pra esquecer da correria dia a dia, abre o chuveiro e desafino no banho. Enquanto a água se escorre pelo cano e enferruja um progresso que deságua no oceano. Corre, fosse pranto magiado por floresta. Leva barco, pescador e a dor no mar. Aonde mora Iemanjá, imensidão que quebra em onda de salgar o que vem. O confronto em movimento até confunde mal e bem. Quando a noite traz a lua, a maré muda. Passa o tempo, passa o dia no estalo do ano. Enquanto a água se escorre pelo cano e tudo se dilui lá no vasto oceano. Água lava a sujeira do lugar. Mas quem que vai lavar a água do mar?
I always think about in my music making, how can I do something that is real and not just a product of the like colonial teaching, which I think goes back to the roots of our true origin. I think that the power structure that's in place now has existed since before humans were even here, and I think that's part of it. But I try, because it's like, you want to learn the traditional folk styles of the planet that you're on to try to do something that's like true and authentic, but then also you have to try to dig deeper and figure out like, who are the people who are taking an interest in us learning those styles. Like I thought about this a lot when I was at the university. It's like this whole thing is kind of like manufactured. They're sort of guessing what the future is going to be like, guessing what a human being needs, and then they're like, okay, give this, but it's wrapped up in exactly that power structure. Absolutely. But how do you guys think about that when you think like, okay, what songs am I going to learn? What am I going to play? How am I going to make my art?
Do you know Moacir Santos?
No.
Moacir Santos is a great composer.
Okay.
He working for a long time in Hollywood for soundtracks for movies, and so he have a song. The song is Blues Man. He talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, well, specifically with regards to the blues too, because like for me, a lot of my students want to learn blues vocabulary because we're in America. They want to learn this, so it's like, but it's dangerous because it's, I don't know, to me it's like insulting on a human level if I see someone play a style that's traditional in a way that's like insensitive to where it came from. And so I try to always package information like, here's this style, and also here's this information from history about the people who made the music, and like, this is this thing that you should be careful with.
Nice. Yes, that's very nice. Not put the content in a packet that's like, just the scales or the no, come with the history, because it's what makes the thing so powerful. Can be the style, and things get powerful because of the history that surrounds, and not just the thing itself, something itself. Like music's a lot of like that, and blues for sure is like a struggle. It was a struggle, but then became a powerful source that people found to keep having joy in life in such advertised, not easy situation.
Right.
So that's what brings that soul. Is not the scale. It's all combined, exactly, but the most important part is people that found a way to find joy and build, even if everything surround was terrible.
Right.
Capoeira I love capoeira because of that too. It's the same, is a similar situation where black people were slaves and they didn't have much time off, of course, but then when they had their time off, they would pretend they were dance, but they were developing a way to fight and escape to survive. So
right,
it's about surviving, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, do you feel like, and maybe not because our heads always go all over the place, but like especially on the percussion instruments on the pandero, like do you feel while you're actually playing it that you're kind of part of this lineage, like a passing down through time?
I don't know.
And maybe not. Maybe at the time you're just in the moment, but I don't know. I do think a little bit about the history while I'm actually playing sometimes.
Yeah, but I like that instrument because it's like a drums portátil, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is for history from Brazil is very, very representative because that's instruments from Asia, you know. But in Asia, Asian is usual different. So in Brazil, that's grip is really, really from Brazil. Don't have in the world that's grip. So this is representative from Brazil because Brazil is a mix
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of people, but the people from Brazil is very, very different. The people in the world. Because
Right, exactly.
the food, the dance, the music, so the mood,
Mm-hmm.
everything in Brazil is different from.
Yeah, I can relate. Like United States has a similar history in a sense of like some people got here to colonize, had the native Indians, and then came people all over the world and built this new culture. This makes me think I have more property to know about Brazil because I'm from there. So I used to ask my grandmother, where is your grandmother was from,
Mm-hmm.
and your great grandmother. At the end, I know I'm a mix of four main things: Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, and native Indians. But I was watching. There's a philosopher that studies history, and he tells like about the origins from Brazil. And you have a lot of Arabic because in Europe, Arabics. I had fight with it. There's a mess in the word, so it's like where even the European that like people say like they Italian is Italian, Spanish is Spanish, but they don't have a frontier before, and they got all mixed before. So it's like we come all over the place, and important is to acknowledge about our culture and fights that had. So we try maybe not to repeat mistakes that old people like ancestry did, and have respect for everybody, because if my blood has 4 bloods and my grandmother blood has another 4, we are all brothers and sisters at the end of the day. But I don't know why people are saying that.
Right.
They like to limit it.
And the people don't forget the world starts in Africa, and Brazil
Amen.
begin from Bahia.
Yeah, do you guys want to talk about our wall hanging? Yeah, what is this that we're here in front of? Tell us about this.
He's still having this. So this comes in a little thing like this, and it's from a church in Bahia, and people put this and make a wish.
Oh wow! So is that how these get like recycled? Like when one gets retired, it gets old, they use the shreds, or is it from like a fresh one? Like where does this really come from?
Fresh. They are putting a lot of these big, but it's tiny ones.
Oh, I see. So that is a representation of this, but bigger. And what does it say? Can you read and translate?
I don't know.
Na Bahia? No. In here, lembrança do Senhor do Bonfim da Bahia. A memory from Bonfim, sir. That's a kind of a saint.
Saint.
It's a Saint Bonfim from Bahia.
Cool. And what about the big? What's the big message say?
This is state, Bahia, my city, Salvador. I shared like a feeling, good feeling.
Oh, okay, cool.
Showy. It's like axé.
Oh, okay.
When you say hello, or it's like I wish you axé.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like sometimes stuff says like greetings from New York or something like that. It's kind of the same like, hey, we're here in this place having a good time.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be. You can put in many contexts, but good means good feelings, like a good thing, like axé.
That's cool. Do you want to give us another just like fun Brazilian Portuguese phrase? Like axé, I didn't even know that. I've seen that and heard that a bunch of times. I didn't, but that's cool, and now people will get to go home with that. What's another like cool like one word phrase you could say? Something that for you will just seem like the most normal thing in the world, but for me will seem amazing.
From Brazil,
Yeah.
it's just one word, saravá.
Saravá, that's a good one.
And what's it mean?
Similar to axé.
Okay.
Saravá is do you have a good life,
Mhm.
good think, good health,
Okay.
everything about yourself, and the feeling give the universe for you.
Awesome.
Saravá.
Saravá. Awesome. Well, there you have it. Saravá.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, please.
What the rhythm from Brazil do you like more?
What from Brazil?
What rhythm?
Oh gosh, well, I don't really know. As someone who hasn't traveled there, I can only really say, I mean, I like the mechanics of the Baião rhythm. I just like the math of it. It's just satisfying to go 3-3-2. And so I guess as a default, I say that just because I like that. It reminds me of the New Orleans swing a little bit, the like kind of like swamp clave. They're like related. So I feel a kinship between like the southeast of the United States and Bahia for that reason.
I have one Baião for you.
Okay, please.
No forró do amado mato tem que ser curioso e precatado. No forró do amado mato tem que ser curioso e precatado. Cheguei no forró, fui dançar com Gabriela. Moças todas tirava cabelo, canela, enlouqueci. Seu balanço que quase me dava um nó. A festa só estava iniciando, dei um giro no salão. Fiquei parado observando. Deu uma prendada que chamada Dona Flor, todos iam cortejar. Dançava só, mas só pensava em vadiar. No forró do amado mato tem que ser curioso e precatado. O baile já estava animado e eu danado bailava com Tereza. Mulher retada de mil e umas aventuras, suas histórias me deixavam estonteado. O candeeiro quase que se apagando, o forró ia encerrando, eu sem querer sair de lá. E de repente me atraco com a morena, cujo nome era Tieta. Gostei e fui até o sol raiar no forró do amado. These songs talk about the writer, Jorge Amado, escritor,
Right.
right? Name of this guy is great. He have a lot of books, translation about 7 idioms. Jorge Amado, look for this guy. It's
Okay.
very, very important from culture from Brazil, especially from Bahia, you know. Jorge Amado, that song talk about the personages, characters from
Of his book.
Oh, okay, cool. Some literary Baião.
Yes.
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again for doing this. It was really
Thank
great
you so
sharing
much.
your music and your very
Thank you.
deep thoughts.
My pleasure. Thank
Of
you so
course,
much.
Thank you.
Enjoy,
Saravá.
guys.
Saravá.
Thank you.
Do you have anything?
Yes?
não come nem estuda, não dorme nem quer nada.
Água, você vai tocar na bateria?
Não sei, vou tocar aí pra ver como é que tá.